Wild Eye Releasing brings the documentary Found Emulsion from 2022, directed by Glenn Andreiev, to DVD. And this was really good. It's not very long. This is only 40 minutes long. It tells the story of home film formats, let's say. It's really about film collectors and those who seek to preserve lost or fringe films, cult movies, exploitation movies, horror movies, things like that, or films that aren't mainstream Hollywood blockbuster hits that go back. So we see discussion of horror movies, we see discussion of exploitation, we see discussion of adult films, we see discussion of soundies, we see discussion of what at one point were called race films, which were all black cast films they might be musicals, they might be dramas, things like that. And these people who, hoard isn't the right word, who collect these things, who preserve these things, who make sure these things continue to exist for future generations to enjoy, study, and learn from. It's not the only film that covers this kind of stuff, but it's a good dipping a toe into the water of this world. It's a world that I'm pretty familiar with. I'm vaguely familiar with some of the people in this film, and I have friends who do this. I mean, if you look right there, that square right there, that's a 16 millimeter film print. This wasn't set up for the purposes of this review. That's a 16 millimeter. I mean, like, literally sitting behind me right now is a 16 millimeter old classroom education film about playground safety. That's what all of this talks about. So preserving this ephemeral film, these things that, if not taken care of oftentimes by fans and collectors, would have been lost to time due to decay, because film by its nature is not meant to last forever. It's a format that can be very durable, can last 100 or more years if taken care of, but it also can turn into goo and hard plastic that nobody can have any use for anymore. So this film talks about all that. It's funny, it's fun. It's a little rough around the edges with some of the technical aspects to it. Some of the film clips that are shown, like, there's a lot of stuff from trailers that look like they're shot off a computer screen or a TV screen, where you get that kind of, not mosaic, but weird patterns and things. Some of it looks like low grade, web video resolution and stuff like that. But the story it's telling is important, and what they talk about is interesting and funny. And Keith Crocker is a friend of a friend who's in this, and you see his house, and maybe it's just me. Anytime somebody is in front of a shelf full of videotapes or DVDs or anything with titles on it, I kind of stop paying attention to what they're saying, and I'm like, what do they have? Oh, cool, he's got Let It Be. He's got a bootleg of Let It Be. Oh, cool, he's got that. Oh, neat, he's got that. But that's fun. Another fun aspect. Do you ever see Frank Henenlotter get interviewed in anything? For years, he would do it in front of his video wall, and I paid no attention to what the man was saying. I was just trying to see what cool stuff he had. So there's some of that in here. It's educational, it's informative, it's got a mission, it's got a purpose, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So this is very short, only 40 minutes. The extras are very minimal. I'll read you the trailers. The only extras on this are trailers for Found Emulsion, the film we're talking about, Making It, Penny Pinchers 2, Scary Stories, and Smoke and Mirrors. I'm presuming these are all titles that Wild Eye Releasing has available. I will show you the physical package. You get the cover there showing film frames that are somewhat decaying. You get the back, and then you open it up, and a little something on the disc, and then you crack her open, and you get what they would call leader ladies. A lot of film leader would have like a frame or so that I believe this was for the lab, where it would be a woman to get skin tone and color, and there'd be a color chart. And that would be used to make sure, red is what red should be, blue was what blue should be, and all that. But it's this weird sub genre of film history. All these photos that are on so many different ladies in so many different scenarios with a color chart next to them. It's kind of fun. So I enjoyed this. Again, it's very short, but it's worth a look if you're into film, you're into film history, you're into physical media, the older form of physical media. Before, probably a lot of people who think of physical media think of discs, but physical media goes way back and kind of started with film. So Wild Eye Releasing, Found Emulsion.